Welcome back to another episode of the Soulful Stir. I'm Diamond Simone.
And it's Tosh. Happy Sunday, y'all.
Happy Sunday. Tell me something good, Tosh.
Honestly, I don't really have nothing this week. It's it's always quiet in my world until it ain't.
You did say that. Well, I don't have nothing like too crazy to share, but a little good news is better than nothing, I guess. But sometimes you just don't have nothing to report, Like you said,
And that's
just
the
be a
good
regular
thing
day.
around here. That's good because when I have something to report, it's never good. So when it's nothing, I like it like that.
It's good sometimes. Sometimes you do have. Many times, Tosh.
I mean,
You have good things to
because
report.
you squeeze it out of me, but I wouldn't normally just be out here like, oh yeah, this happened. Like no.
One day somebody asked me, what's the best thing that happened to you this week? And that was such a thoughtful and thought-provoking question that I was like, I too want to start incorporating that into my everyday life. So sometimes I will ask people that question because I genuinely want to know, but I know like at least how that question made me feel. I felt pretty good about it. But I will share that I'm almost done with like my last class. It's only offered in the summer, so you know how that go. But I'm almost done with this class and I am so looking forward to it because school and summertime don't mix. They just don't go together. And I'm thoroughly convinced about that. I've never had to go to summer school. Like, you know how kids had to go to summer school growing up?
Yeah, nah.
I never had to go to summer school. So I've always been like...
It's crazy because I never had to go, but I always went, like, once I got to the collegiate level.
Oh, well, in that sense, yes.
I even went to summer school and law school, which is absurd, like, as hell.
Yeah,
but I did.
That sounds crazy as hell.
And it's crazy because I wonder, do, like, any of my colleagues remember that? Because, like, some of us, we took, like, 2 or 3 classes. It was like business associations and like something weird, but it was online. And I had a professor named Epstein. I mean, it wasn't the Epstein. It was there's a guy who writes legal textbooks. So he's like popular in legal land or whatever for law school students. And so I had him, and it was very interesting to have him as a professor. But nonetheless, yes, I was doing wild shit in law school.
Well, that like when you go to college, and more counselors should tell students this. They don't tell you in the beginning, like, you have to go to school. You have to go to school all year round if you want to finish within those 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, if you legitimately want to get out of school on time, you're going to have to go throughout all the seasons. They don't necessarily tell you that. But that's understandable in college. I'm talking about, like, middle school, high school, elementary. I never had to go to summer school. So I always, my point is, I've always associated school and summer like, no, like it's just not a good vibe. They don't mix. In my mind, that's how they've been associated with one another. Like, you're not supposed to go to school in the summer. But here I am wrapping up this program, and I can't fucking wait to just kick my feet up and be cool. I've been working really hard on this, but I do want to slide into mind, body, and balance. Do you have something to share with the people?
I just want to say, gyms ain't shit but a racket.
What a what?
A racket.
A racket?
And as much as I love going to the gym, I realized, so I'm getting back into this space. It's not a good space, I'll say that. This is a space that I was in, like, when I was just kind of, like, in my worst, and I was running a lot. And I say that to say that I'm, like, extremely going hard in the gym. I'm going, like, 2 times a day. I'm working out a lot because I'm trying to move this stagnant energy of, like, grief and anxiety out of my body. I say all that to say I've been trying to go back to Pilates because everybody know I go to the gym almost every day. I do my little own thing. I stopped going to my trainer a while ago, but now I need some organization back. And they get you. It's a racket. Like, they tell you to come get your little free class. You know, Club Pilates, they say just come get your free class. You go.
Right.
They treat you all nice and shit. They want you to come back. You're having a good time. You feel like if I keep coming, I'm going to look real sexy. It's going to work out in my favor. Then you go to the front desk and they say, oh, it's $100 for 4 classes a month. Like, what is 4 classes a month really gonna get me? You know what I'm saying? In order to get the full value, they jump you to the bottom of the page and it's like $450. You like, damn, like it's a racket. And I notice it's not just with those like cult type. I call those like cult type workouts, like your Club Pilates, your Hot Works. You know, like those Orange Theory, those type of places. You know, like back in the day they used to have curves, like that kind of stuff. I feel like it's a fucking racket.
Damn,
and not only that,
have curves.
Yeah, like even your regular gym. Because think about it, you go to the gym, you be like, oh, I can get the basic package. Oh, I just want to do something value. I just want to go work out. You look at the value package, you can't do shit but show up. You know what I'm saying? In order to actually get a good
show
workout.
Up and have a cup of water.
And walk on a treadmill. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order for you to really get the best value from this facility and the biggest bang for your buck, it's nowhere near the advertised price that they advertise on these commercials and stuff.
It's not.
Like, you have to add on gym guest privileges. You have to add on going to the sauna. You got to add on the steam room. You got to add this. Then I go to Powerhouse now, and these got you renting towels.
You gotta rent a towel.
Gym is nothing but a racket. I'm gonna keep going though, but I think it's some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had the patience for people and all the other stuff, I would just open up a gym. I mean, because why not?
I mean, yeah, that seems like a good moneymaker in theory, but I can imagine there's a lot of things that you need to do to like open it. It just don't seem like it would be that easy to open.
It's not. In my lawyer mind, it just screams liability and insurance problems, and absolutely not
insurance. And because of that, like, I think that's why we don't see as many gyms like outside of the major, you know, ones. You'll see a lot of standalone gyms.
Yes,
but you're absolutely right. I used to do Pilates and I was pretty heavy into it, and it was too expensive. Like, it got to the point where I was like, damn, I was paying like $200 a month for a membership. And then the other thing about like Club Pilates that they don't necessarily tell you when they get you in the door is that you have to bid on classes. Yeah. So, I mean, just like, I guess with any other facility that they have, you know, you can't, obviously they can't accommodate everybody in one class.
Yes.
So even that, it's like certain classes only worked for my schedule. So I would go to the ones at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. before work. But if I couldn't get in that class for like a few weeks, then what? I'm like it just was, it was a lot to like consider. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I understand the practice enough to where I can know what it feels like to do it correctly and do it on my own time.
Yeah.
So what did I do?
I mean, I'm not saying that
I got on TikTok.
Yeah, because, but it's literally one of those things. I just feel like, as much as I am an advocate of going to the gym and having nice facilities, I understand that everybody's budget don't account for that, but it's still like, come on now, y'all know something is just excessive. Cause
yeah, well, that's why I got on TikTok and I got hip to the Pilates girlies who was telling us to get on Facebook Marketplace and get you a reformer. But you're absolutely right. It is a racket. And I will also say, if you have insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield, I don't know the other carriers that may do this, but you can get a discounted rate on your gym membership if you reach out to your insurance carrier. That's one thing that people don't know, because I didn't know. And I had a membership with Planet for years, and I paid about the same that I was paying for my membership at Planet with LA now. And you get way more amenities. And I didn't have to like add anything on. So I took that and ran with it through my insurance. Check it out if you have not and you're looking to sign up for something, but you don't want to spend an arm and a leg if you're on a budgie. Because I love a good budgie.
Yeah, it's like, I hate that, because you even like, I just feel like, I don't know, the whole gym community is a racket. I'm still in it, and I'm going to be in it. But it just is, because the more you get and the deeper you get into this stuff, like, in order to elevate, it starts getting expensive, and then it started really clicking to a nigga like me that the reason why people started losing all this weight is because shit, you spending your money on everything else, you can't even afford the fucking food after that. Like, that's clearly what the issue is, because protein powder is expensive as hell. Creatine is expensive as hell. Collagen powder is expensive. And as a woman,
vitamins,
especially once you get of a certain age, you need to start incorporating these things, not only with a decent diet, but with your workout regimen, because we start to experience bloating. We start to experience insulin resistance and all of this stuff. So by the time you incorporate all of these things, your daily greens, and God forbid you want to go max out in the gym, you need a good pre-workout. By the time you start buying all of this stuff, cases of Celsius, cases of Alani, whatever you drink to get yourself ready for the gym, you done spent $300 or $400, and that's 2 or 3 weeks worth of stuff, and you're doing this on a regular basis. You have to, everything. My laundry increased when you go to the gym, because you constantly taking stuff off, more clothes, more shirts, more all this other stuff. It's so much. By the time you start really investing your stuff into that, that's why people always like, well, once people start going to the gym, they don't do nothing but go to the gym. No, because it becomes like you invest so much into it in order to get anything out of it. You gotta go hard. Like, you gotta go hard.
You're gonna have to show up,
and it's expensive as hell.
You want to hold yourself accountable and not waste your money.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that is your take. Mine was obviously related to my body imbalance, but on the other side of things, dealing with skincare, I actually was listening to a podcast, Cocktails with Kiki and Medina, and shout out to them. I love their podcast. They were talking about, Medina asked her, like, have you asked Kiki if she had ever had microneedling done? And my ears perked up, because I have had microneedling done, and it was interesting the way that Kiki was describing it to her, because I did not feel that way. I was like, what is she about to tell Medina it feels like? Somebody told me that it wasn't that painful. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and I was not impressed with the pain level.
You thought it was painful?
I thought it was painless. I didn't think it was pain. I thought it was painless initially, yes. But after I got it done, while I was getting it done, hell yeah, that shit hurt.
And that's crazy, because I have a very low tolerance for pain, and I don't
know what type of lidocaine they put on you, but they put the lidocaine on. They do a numbing cream. You have to sit for like a half an hour to an hour prior to your appointment and let it kick in. But even like when they were doing it, like, she would have to take breaks in between sections, because it was hurting so bad.
Well, in my defense,
it was burning.
I will say I was extremely relaxed when I had it done, because my best friend owns a spa in Atlanta, a medical spa. For those of you that listen in Atlanta, go check out Skin Ethics. But yes, she owns a spa, and so she did my microneedling and my dermaplaning for the first time. So I say that to say, like, I was in a complete state. It was just, I felt like, okay, like, we were not at home. We were at the actual salon. But it was just kind of one of them things that we was just sitting back. No. Like, we had a little wine earlier that day. We was just eating tacos and shit.
My toes was curled up. My toes was curled up in that damn chair. Not in a good way. I was sliding out of the chair like, oh my God, this hurts so bad.
Now, that's how I felt when I got my eyebrows when I got my ombre micro shading. Oh my God, that was it's a tattoo. That was the most uncomfortable feeling ever. Yes, because it's like a tattoo on your face. And
that's how Kiki described it to Medina, and that seems accurate.
Yes. Yeah. That microneedling. Not the microneedling.
That's actually a good comparison, because that's how I felt it. But instead of somebody like scribbling on you with a fucking needle, it feels like, obviously somebody like really poking you repeatedly. Yep. And it burns. And the more that they poke, like the greater the space that they're poking in, the hotter it gets. She had to put she had a little fan, like this strong ass little fan that I had to keep on the areas to keep it like cool. I'm like, girl, I can't imagine what it feels like without the numbing cream on it. Like, what, I don't even want to know what that feels like.
So just an aside, I really feel like, I know it's crazy for me to say this because we talk about so much stuff on this show and on our platforms, but I feel like as women, we need to get back to gatekeeping shit. Like, just keep it off the internet. And I say that because, like, I was talking to this dude, and he's like, you know, kind of, I don't want to say going bald because I feel like that's disrespectful, but long story short, bro, man, going bald. And he was like, I was like, oh, I was trying to explain to him,
say it anyway.
You know, essentially,
why would you say that? It's
essentially, you know, I was trying to advertise to the young brother. I was like, you know, hey, I got this hair oil. It's gonna make your hair grow back. Blah blah blah. You can, you know, slick it on your little bald spot, rub it on your little genie ball. You know, whatever. All I know is he tells me, so yeah, usually I like to derma roll my hair at night and then put oil on it. And I was like, nigga, you derma rolling? Like, that just
probably ain't even doing it right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Like, I'm glad that y'all, you know, in 2025 trying to take care of yourself and y'all don't want to look crusty, but I feel like it's just some stuff that you should just preserve for your lady to do for you. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a guy who's single and he was just like talking about his little beauty care regimen, and I'm like, you be at home derma rolling? Like, you, like, it was just like kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you might as well make you a content account on TikTok and just record yourself doing all this stuff now. Like, that's how it went in my mind. Like, it literally went from 0 to you should be a skincare content creator. Like,
well, since you're out here doing it, you might.
I mean, you might as well
just take it and run with it, sir.
It just was weird to hear.
I didn't even explain what micro needling. I didn't even explain what micro needling is. So for those of you who are not familiar with micro needling, it's a cosmetic procedure that people have done to their skin. And what they do is they take this little machine. It's a handheld device that has a bunch of little needles on it, on the end, and they just go across your face and cover all of your skin and poke you.
And then when they press a button, they say, boom, 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 boom.
That's it. Oh my God! Don't even. The trauma is.
You can hear the note. Like, no, you can literally. Yes. It's like they press a button. It's like a pop, 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 like in your ear.
Like, it's constantly the beeping noise, and you can feel every little prick. Now, granted, they do put a numbing cream on you beforehand, so you're not feeling the full effect of everything, but essentially this process creates tiny injuries underneath the skin, and it helps to produce or increase collagen levels underneath the skin to promote healing. So it's supposed to close your pores and make your skin tighter, firmer, and also get rid of hyperpigmentation, which is what I was getting the treatment for. On top of the shit being painful, it is also very expensive.
Yeah.
I think for one session at my dermatologist, it was like $750. $750 to $800 a session. And they don't tell you, again, just like the damn gyms.
Yeah.
They don't tell you when they get you in the door that, oh yeah, you're going to need more than one session in order for you to get the results that you want, because obviously it's a procedure that takes time, and cosmetic procedures of that caliber, dealing with the skin, you know, the skin takes time to heal and to reverse years and years of damage to the skin. So all of that to say, I would not be getting that shit done no time soon. I thought about it when they were talking about it on their show, and I was just like, man, that'd be so painful. But I did see results though. That is the thing. Like, you do get the results that you desire if you stick with it. And I did see some nice results in my skin. Just the integrity of my skin is much better than it was. And it's so. I do want to move along because I've been actually waiting for a while to talk about this when I found out that I was going to this show. So, jumping into sound check, I went to the Kendrick and SZA show at Ford Field this past Tuesday, or last Tuesday at this point. And I'm mad that that's over now. Like, I want to go again. I want to see it one more time. At least one more time. It was so good, Tosh. Like, it was great. I don't even know where to start. Like, the visuals were amazing. I love the way that they did the show too. DJ Mustard opened for them, which that was pretty lit. And he was playing songs. I'm like, dang. I did not realize that DJ Mustard is the producer of Rack City.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, he's playing stuff that, like, I kept forgetting about. Like, DJ Mustard is behind this. But all of that to say, the show was just so well put together, so well creatively directed, and everything was so clean. Like, the dancers, top tier, and the way that they put the visuals and everything together, it was just chef's kiss. SZA is beautiful, and that baby was singing all night. Okay, and I was just so amazed because she's just skipping and
we need to do visual
dancing
episodes
all over
if
the
y'all
stage.
see how I just looked at Diamond when she said that.
Oh, you don't like SZA? Not particularly.
And definitely not no singing voice.
I love SZA, and I have been a SZA fan since she was on SoundCloud. So that's literally when she got started. I've been listening to her music for that long. Before the Control album. Before Child's Play, for those of you who are familiar with that song. This is not surprising, Tosh. We have very different tastes in music. But you would at least enjoyed Kendrick's performance, I feel. Because the way that they did the show, the way they had it set up, it was truly in collaboration. So he started, then she came on, then he came on. They would just flip-flop sets back and forth. And I thought that was pretty interesting and clever. Because I know that SZA brings her own fan base to these shows, and it forces the audience to stay for the entire experience.
And see, that's why I'm glad I did not go, because as much as ever, I love Kendrick, and I kind of regretted not getting tickets to the concert, but that would have pissed me off because I wouldn't have wanted to see her. Like, I would have literally gone late. Like, she's one of those people that I would have gone late so we could have missed that part of it. Like, people would have been in there, and I'd have been outside getting me a drink at the concession stand while they was doing all that. Like, I don't want to see. I don't want them to go back and forth unless, like, it's supposed to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because I'm about to really show my age, but, like, when I say go back and forth like that, it needs to be like a Jay-Z, R. Kelly, Best of Both Worlds type album. You know,
damn,
like
I forgot about that album.
Where you go back and y'all actually, it's an album of y'all together, not just somebody's album that y'all maybe got one or two features on together. I'm like, a full collaborative album is the type of performance that I expect that kind of back and forth with. Put it that way.
Wow. Well, I can definitely see that as well. But I really enjoyed the way that the show was set up, and it just opened up a whole new appreciation for both artists and the work that they have put in over the years. Like, I've been a fan of Kendrick for a long time too, since he started, and to be able to see their success, like, just the takeoff of their careers from them, you know, opening. The first time I saw Kendrick, he was opening for Kanye. And now he's headlining at, you know, stadiums across the nation, throughout the world, actually, because it's a world tour. That's amazing in itself, and SZA too. So,
I mean, I love me some Kendrick. Nobody can ever make me hate Kendrick. So
no, Kendrick is amazing.
He can do no wrong in my eyes.
His pen is amazing. His level of creativity, artistry, just everything. Attention to detail in this show was just. I'm speechless. I left the show speechless and very happy that I got to experience that. So that was what I had for sound check.
So
all good news.
Interesting that you say that, because I don't know why I did not mention it on the last episode, but I went to the Janet Jackson concert in Vegas 2 weeks ago, to her residency show in Resorts World. And I will say I had a similar experience. if I had to rate the show, I would give it an 8 out of 10. I could even say maybe like an 8.5 or a 9. I will say my biggest takeaway is that like Janet did an amazing one thing for sure. Let's say this. I did not realize that she had so many like big hits. Like don't get me wrong. Her catalog is impeccable from beginning to current. Because I won't say end because she hasn't stopped making music. But catalog is impeccable. But I didn't realize that on all of these different albums, she had so many number one hits, like top of the chart number one hits on like every single album. This woman did a 2-hour show, 43 songs, nonstop. For somebody almost 60 years old, she killed it. Like she literally, her costuming was perfection. She looked very age appropriate, but she was still very Janet, like super sexy, but very covered and nice. I mean, she looked amazing. The one thing I didn't like, she sounded really good, but I will say it got eerie at one part because she started to sing. I don't know what song it was, but her voice got so soft in an octave that if you would have closed your eyes, you would have thought it was Michael Jackson. And it kind of got scary because it was like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I'm like, that's her brother. I get it, but it was just really odd because I had never heard her sound like him before. And she sung so many songs that I used to really love that I forgot about. But I will say the one thing that I did not like, which is weird because I can't say I don't like it, but I didn't like it. But it was kind of weird that I think so. As a person with like a dance history, like background, I felt it was very iconic that she keeps her base choreography because you got to think about it. She's a dancer at heart, so she has, choreography from the 80s and early 90s. The Miss You Much, the Rhythm Nation, like the actual iconic choreography. She still uses that same base choreography, but because she uses it and she almost 60 years old, you can tell she almost 60 years old. Like, because it gives us as a viewer something to compare it to. You see what I'm saying? Like with most artists, when they have a show, we've never seen them do like that choreography before, so we don't know what it's supposed to look like. And I think since most of us that grew up and for the last 20-30 years have been watching her artistry, watching her dance, watching her perform, what it's supposed to look like. And I can tell at certain points she kind of got winded, or she would look towards her dancers to kind of like refresh her 1-2. I could tell when she was like actually thinking really hard through the steps, because it would be kind of like, she would make it look cute and look sexy, but I knew that like that bop to the side, I'm looking, is kind of like, let me see what step he's on, because when she would make that look, she would start dancing harder after, like, okay, I'm caught up now, which makes me want to segue to bridge into rhythm and groove. So one of the songs that really hit me that I forgot that was like a Janet Jackson bop, that I totally forgot about until she performed it, and she went so full out. She did So Excited with her and Kaya.
Yeah.
And the reason why I want to bridge that to rhythm and groove is because that was one of those songs from the Janet Jackson, Jermaine Dupri era when they were dating.
Dang, it is. Yeah.
And she really came out with that song, and she had a lot of bops on that album, because I think I Want You is on that album too.
Oh yeah, Demeter Joe.
Yes,
yeah.
And that's when she was with him, and that's a couple that everybody loved this whole Nelly Ashanti Spin the Block. I would want to see Jermaine and Janet Spin the Block, because nobody really knows like why they really broke up, and they never really said it, but they've always had a mutual respect for each other after the fact. Yeah. When people ask him about her in an interview, he's like, I fumbled, like I really dropped the ball when it came to her, and he admits it. And that's just one couple, because it's like after she broke up with him, she went and got with the weird dude and had the baby and all that other stuff, and I just felt like maybe she need to spin the block, like maybe that's a couple that we need to see kind of reignite, because I don't understand, like I just feel like they're good for each other, because I think she gives him a sense of stability, like calms him down a little bit, but he also brings out her other side, because you can tell in that music that he produced in that Demita Joe era in the album. I think like immediately after that, she was like she was coming out of her shell a bit more.
Yeah.
With
a
her,
lot more sheer of an album.
yes, like it was still true to Janet, but it was just different. And that's like one of those musical couples that like I actually like together. You know what I'm saying? Like I think they kind of helped each other at that time. Like it was a mutual reciprocity within their like, you know, situations. He was helping her with her little music. She was doing whatever with him. And I felt like they should just kind of, you know, try it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were a pretty cool couple to see. And I'm a really big Janet Jackson fan since I was a little girl. So I would love to see her live again. That was actually the first concert that I went to.
Really?
And I was telling Jermaine, yes, and I'm about to tell y'all the whole story of how I got to this concert, just as an example of how fortune holds my hand. So this was like 2001. So, I'm this little kid that just loves Janet Jackson. I remember watching the news. She had just landed here in Detroit for her show at the Palace. And it was like breaking news. She had chipped her tooth or something. Like I really want to say she chipped her tooth. And they had to have she had to have emergency dental surgery. And so the show got canceled that night that it was initially supposed to go on and pushed to like the day after. So say it was on the show was on that Monday. It was supposed to be that Monday. It was they didn't go live until Wednesday. Mm-hmm. So my aunt, her mother, and her stepfather owned a record store, and they had tickets to the show, and they were gonna go on Monday, but they called my mom and said, we can no longer make the show. We know she's a really big fan. Do you want the tickets? And my mom said, hell yeah. So not only was I at this concert, y'all, I was on the floor in the 9th row of the Palace, right in front of the stage. And I was standing up in a chair because obviously I can't see over all the adults that are down there. And I was probably one of the youngest people there that was just in awe of Janet Jackson, and her performance skills is on a whole nother level. So I feel like being that was my first introduction to a concert experience, that is a hard show to top. It just is.
That's crazy because I remember going to concerts as a kid, but I can't really like vividly remember them. But my first like concert going to that I vividly remember was The Roots and Cody Chestnut.
Oh, that had to be a good show.
And that had to be 2001, 2002. I was in high school. Like, I was young. They were at a concert. They had like a summer, some type of like little summer thing. And that's when the Seed 2.0 came out, because I used to love that song with The Roots and Cody Chestnut. Yeah. And that's the only reason that's the only reason why I wanted to go. Like, everybody else wanted to go see The Roots. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love The Roots, but when they was like, oh yeah, and Cody's gonna be there, I had to go. And that was like a crazy, crazy show. But I vividly remember it, and it was such a good show.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty lit concert experience. I've never seen The Roots, but they're definitely on my list of people to see, because it just seems like they put on a great show. We're still into rhythm and groove, right?
Yeah. If we still there. If we still there.
If you're still there. I just wanted to bring up creative date night ideas. So I know, like, however people choose to spend time with their partners and all that jazz is really y'all business. But I'm always thinking of new ways to explore and learn about each other, but also learn something different, maybe a new skill when it comes to dating. So a couple places that I've been, well, I'll say one place that I've been and one place that I'm thinking about going. And these are pretty creative, I feel like. It's different from the normal dinner and a movie, kind of set up. So my partner and I, we went to pottery class, and that's right up my alley because I'm an artist and I have been talking about wanting to get into pottery. So it was just perfect timing for us to go. And I learned something new that day. It was his first time doing anything of that nature because he's not creative at all. But he was a good sport. So I was glad about that. We did have dinner and drinks like after the fact, but it was cool to like open up the day and spend some time earlier in the day, a few hours in a pottery studio and learning about the art of pottery and having a really cool instructor and just trying something new together. The other thing that I saw online was rug making. Like you could make your own rug. And I think
I'm all for
that's
creative date nights, but if a nigga say let's go make rugs, I'm definitely gonna be judging him.
why
Like,
you
don't, sir, no, thank you,
what you why you
no,
gonna
thank
judge
you,
him?
because this ain't IKEA. Like, we need to be doing something else. I just that ain't
Okay,
it.
Martha Stewart.
It's crazy because, and it's crazy that I say that because, like I said, I know that I just be weird because I wouldn't do that, but I have done like not like actually throwing pottery, but I've like gone to those places where you paint it, like the wired and fired type places.
Oh
Like those
yeah.
things, I totally understand, but like, I don't know about making a rug.
I would love that. But again, you got to know your audience.
Yeah.
Okay, so having and exploring creative date night ideas largely comes with knowing your audience because obviously, if you're dating Tosh, you're not you're not gonna take her to a rug spot for her to make a rug. But if you're dating me, I would absolutely love
While we're on that
that.
subject, really quick,
I love
I
it.
gotta pull it up. I gotta figure out. It's a place that actually I just recently followed on Instagram. And it's actually more geared towards people here in Michigan. But there's a place like I will repost it on the shows on our podcast platforms as far as our Instagram and going forth, because there's a place I actually saw maybe like a week or two ago, where you do these different classes, but it's like with your partner, but like some of them are like cocktail making, and different things like that. You can do cocktail making, you can do like signature fragrances, and different stuff.
Oh
But
yeah.
whatever this place is, they have it like once or twice a month. They only hold them because you can go, and then they have like a charcuterie board making class and different stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds really cool. And you actually just brought something else up. A cooking class would be fun too.
Yes.
Especially if your partner doesn't know how to cook.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. The reason why I say I don't know is because I definitely would like my partner to know how to cook, but I don't like nobody cooking next to me. Like, get out the kitchen. Like, I'm not one of them people that like, oh, we gonna
But
cook
when I'm in
together.
here, you
Yeah,
just
like
get
I
out
need
the
you to get
way.
out the way. Just because it's, like people cook a certain way, people move a certain way. You know what I'm saying? You just have a flow. When you actually like
Yeah.
cook, you have a flow of how you do certain stuff, and it just don't ever go right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be bumping elbows with you while I'm trying to get my,
That's gonna
rice
piss
off the stove and
that's gonna
shit.
piss you
Like,
off.
yeah, that's just gonna make
It's
me
gonna
mad.
it's gonna make me hot. Well, speaking of sharing the kitchen with somebody, I do want to jump into the delicious dive because this idea I saw on TikTok also. And I just thought it was so cute and such a fun idea to do. So, a group of friends got together and they started a friend group where they get together. I don't know how frequently, if it's once a month or once every other month, I'm not sure. But they get together as a friend group. And if I'm not mistaken, they make recipes based out of a cookbook. Like they select a cookbook and make recipes out of that book, or maybe they even like decide on a theme for that particular dinner party and they make food that's according to that, and the chefs rotate like every time they meet. So the host and the chefs, they rotate, and it was just so aesthetically pleasing, like the way everything looked. And it seemed like a good time to like fellowship with people. Now obviously I would want to do this with my friends who can cook, because why else are we doing this if if you really don't know how to cook like that? But maybe there's even some space for us to teach each other and to learn from one another and collaborate in the kitchen. You know, because you say like you hosted it at your house, which I know you wouldn't. I'm not throwing this into I'm not throwing this into the atmosphere, but I'm just bringing it up. She's told us like
Let's give a hypothetical that we know hypothetically would never happen in real life. Right. But let's continue.
Exactly. Like, I know this would never happen, but you know, let me just say it anyway. Use you as an example. If you were to host it at your house and you and I were the chefs for the evening, or you could host it at your house and then like me and Asia could be the chefs for the evening. Maybe you're a third who's helping us out, or you're a sous chef. Who knows?
Oh yeah, y'all definitely not cooking in my kitchen.
Why we not cooking in your kitchen?
Cause that nigga Asia don't even know how to clean cast iron. I remember I had to refresh a cast iron skillet for her because she put the bitch in the dishwasher. Ooh. No ma'am, no ma'am.
That's Asia. That's Asia, and I cook in Dutchies and cast iron all the time.
When me and Michael lived together, I never let him cook in my cast iron. Baby, I got a whole set of little cheap non-stick Martha Stewart dishes I got from Macy's. you cook your little spaghetti and all that stuff in those dishes. Don't touch my cast iron. Don't touch my Dutch oven. Don't touch none of my good stuff.
I have all of that.
And because he's always like, why my stuff?
What we cooking.
He always say, why my stuff don't turn out like yours when I cook it like this?
Or stainless steel.
You not cooking it in the right materials, baby, but you don't know how to clean those. So you just cooking that.
I don't want no rest in the bottom of my shit.
Like even when I used to cook dinner and he used to like wash the dishes after, he knew to just leave the cast iron on the stove. Mm-hmm. I'll come and do what I'm supposed to do with it. Don't touch. Just don't touch it.
If you fry fish in yours, you boil some water and vinegar.
I don't fry anything in my house in grease.
Okay, well, hypothetically speaking, for a hypothetical situation.
No, I do. I have this thing about I don't do hot grease. Like no French fries, no fried chicken, no fried fish. I fried fish at my last apartment like 2 weeks before we moved out, and that's because I knew we was going to move out. I don't like that lingering smell of fried anything, and that's because when I grew up, my mama didn't fry that stuff in the house. We had a kerosene tank. Like, you know, and my mama fried everything in the garage, from chicken, French fries, fish, shrimp. Everything was fried outside in the garage. Like, so because of that, I do that now. And I know people who live in apartments and stuff, and they do the same thing. They'll set a table outside and put the thing out and fry. I cannot, that smell lingers, and I hate it. Like,
yeah, well, can't relate. We definitely grew up frying shit in our house, and it didn't matter what it was. Your chicken, fish, pork chops, everything getting fried around. Fries.
And it's crazy. And I don't know if it's that why I'm like that with smells, because we also never had trash in my house. Like the only reason why I have trash in my house now is because I live in an apartment. But like when I lived in my houses, I would always keep it. My mom, we always kept the trash in the garage, like closer to the edge of the garage, and that's just where the dumpster would be. And then when it was trash day, she would just roll it to the end of the street. But even like we never had a trash can in the house. Like, so when we were cooking, if you just needed trash right there, we would just open like a little grocery bag or something, and then you take it back outside. She never wanted smells in the house. So that's so we would always keep trash cans. Yeah, trash and fried food always in the garage. So the garage would have like a little, you know, a little outside garagey smell, but she would always like crack it, you know. And then too, you also keep in mind that most of this time I was in Georgia, so the weather was different. You know, we didn't have to worry about that. I mean, it would be colder in the winter, you know, but it wasn't like that. And we didn't have to worry about, you know, snow and all the other stuff. So we would just crack the garage. She would leave the garage windows open, you know, after she cooked, so it would air out. And that's just how we did it. So now when I fry chicken, it's literally like it's one of those things that, you know, it's I don't know how to say it. I ain't gonna say a special occasion, but I'm doing it for a reason. Like, it very rarely happens because I can't do it.
Oh, yeah. So I understand. I mean, if you grow up like that, it definitely intensifies the way that you choose to live, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, we was frying some shit up in our house. I ain't gonna lie. But basically the bottom line is don't use a cast iron or a Dutchie if you don't know how to clean it properly. You're not supposed to put any chemicals or anything in that pan. The whole idea and purpose of having a cast iron is to sustain the seasonings and the flavor from the food that you have cooked previously. All that flavor builds into that cast iron, and you want to keep it and you want to preserve it, which means that you need to oil that pan. Once you do clean it properly, you do have to oil it to maintain the integrity of the product of the dish, if you will. So I found this video that I was talking about. So it's a cookbook meetup.
Okay.
And they select recipes from a particular cookbook. And sometimes people incorporate their book clubs like into it. So if y'all already reading a particular book, you just choose a cookbook that goes with your next meetup.
Okay.
So I think that's really cool. And I wanted to do this for a while. I have not had the time, especially being in grad school. I felt like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to hang out here and I'm going to be out all the time. And absolutely the fuck not. You will not, unless you plan on not getting that paper in on time or not doing your research and not reading those journals that you had stacked up in your tabs all week. Like, are you going to do it or not? Because you was focused on another thing. It's just too much shit going on in grad school all the time.
Yeah.
So all that to say, I do want to do this, and I'm inviting you to host something at your house.
Listen, Diamond and her mama and them, they love a fucking function. They love a fucking meetup and a function.
That be my mom.
That be y'all. They be wanting to host everything. They be wanting, we gonna do this, we gonna do this. It's like every other weekend I be telling somebody like, yeah, I'm about to go to this at Diamond house. Diamond having this, Diamond having that. They be like, God damn, what did Diamond be doing? I'm like, just having stuff. Okay, y'all be having functions on functions.
And guess what? That don't be me for real. Because when I say I am an introvert, I'm not lying to y'all. I'm not lying to y'all. I love me some peace and quiet in my house. I love me some peace and quiet. And even if people are over my house, I still be like, what y'all about to do after this? What y'all planning on doing? Because kitchen closed. Turn the lights off at a certain time. But all that to say, I hope that you guys can incorporate some of these ideas that we're throwing at you for both your creative date night and dinner party. We have a confession today.
Do we?
We do. And it's actually very, very entertaining. To me, I thought it was very entertaining. I have to find it. Once I find it, we will have it. Excuse me.
In the meantime, I need to stop being so easily influenced. Like, the fact that I'm sitting here while we in the middle of recording this, trying to find this $10 dress at Walmart that people keep posting on TikTok is insane. Because I don't even like Walmart, okay? It's so bad that I had to figure out where it was one close to me at so I could look for the dress.
Well, send me the dress because I want to see. I have to see what this dress looks like from Walmart.
But it's not even a big deal. It's like a basic, like a little ombre maxi tube dress. But people say that when you buy it for the right size, it fits like, real cute on.
A glove.
And it's only $10. And
you just want to see for yourself.
I convinced my baby daddy to buy me these sandals from Target a few weeks ago. And they was actually so cute. And I feel like they would go really cute with this dress. Because they like some, I don't want to say wicker. Because it's not wicker. But it's like some.
They gotta be.
I don't know.
Can you imagine some wicker sandals?
I don't know what the proper name is. Because
uncomfortable as hell. It's like walking on thorns.
But it's like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm usually really good with describing like fabrics and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know how to describe them, but nonetheless, it's some cute tan, like little slide in.
Well, send me a picture of those
mules.
Because I gotta see what wicker sandals look like.
Saying wicker sandals is out of control. It's a really horrible description. I'm not gonna lie.
Why are these even on the market? They seem like a safety hazard.
And now that I even think about that, the even worse thing about the whole idea is that I saw them on somebody else. I saw the sandals on somebody else's Instagram too, and she was talking about how cute and comfortable they were, and I was like, I ain't going to Target, but I'll send Michael in there. So I was like, hey, can you go to Target and pick up a few things for me? And he was like, what? And I was like, these shoes specifically, and they're supposed to be on clearance, and they was only like $16
because they're trying to get rid of them for a lawsuit.
Yeah, that was only $16. That was super cute too.
She said that it was comfortable. The feet was probably.
Oh, that's what they're called. They're called raffia slides. So, they kind of look like wicker, I guess. I don't know what to say.
Oh, this maxi dress is cute.
Yeah, but they say it's like, yeah.
That's my kind of vibe.
And that's why I like that, because it was like I could just throw it on.
I'll be in my garden in this.
It's like
with my rice hat on.
It's like a cute little throw on something. You know what I'm saying? Like to just go to brunch or to go,
It is cute. I mean, I know you will wear that, but I will wear it like in my garden.
Yeah, like it just whatever.
I did find the confession, and just that quickly. Okay. So buckle your seatbelts, y'all, because this is a really juicy entry that we got. And I did read through it, like skim through it, but I'm gonna be as shocked as some of you will be hearing this. So in 2021, I went to a lifestyle party. This is in quotations, which is just a very, very cute way of saying I went to a group sex party. At the party, the men were super creepy and overbearing, so all the women kind of linked up and sat together and bonded. I was sitting there, and a girl started rubbing on me, and I said, "Don't do that, girl, because I'll fuck you." And she said, "Stop laughing."
Because it's like an old man, like, keep on smiling at me, girl, I'm gonna fuck you. Like, I'm sorry, but I just had to get that out.
That reminds me of that guy that was on TikTok that said, I'm talking to one person and one person only. That's Megan Thee Stallion.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what? Crazy.
That's wild. Tosh, don't look at me for the rest of this segment. Because it's just in the beginning. So she said, I was sitting there, and the girl started rubbing on me. I said, "Don't do that, girl, because I'll fuck you." And she said, "Do it." So I did it. However, all the other women who were sitting right there joined in. So the two of us turned into the 8 of us, just in the middle of the living room, going for it. Me and my female fiance had the time of our lives, but we held back a little because at the end of the day, they were still strangers. I wanted to recreate that experience since I left, so I asked my fiance for a redo with the women I knew for my 30th birthday, and she said, if you get the women to agree to it, then we can do it. Me and my fiance are polyamorous, so we both had girlfriends at the time, and I asked both of them and another girl I was talking to at the time, and they all said yes. So I booked an Airbnb and set the plan in motion. The day before my 30th birthday, 2 of the 5 women got their period and said forget it, because I've had quite a few threesomes and I was bored with those at that point. Fast forward to 2025. And I was having a big event, and I said, this is my time to shine. I went back to my fiance and said, hey, remember when I turned 30, I asked for an all-girl orgy? She said, pick the girls. So I went to a girl I'm dating and said, you down? And she said, yeah, for sure. Then I asked her fiance, and she said, yeah, I'm down. Then I asked my homegirl, that's kind of my boo, but not really. And she said, hell yeah, this right in my alley. Fast forward to my event, and I got everybody drunk as fuck. Everybody was up late, refusing to go to bed, and I was worried my crew was going to fall asleep, so I started ushering people to bed. So I'm guessing they're in mixed company of like other people. Yeah. My homegirl was not picking up what I was putting down and went to sleep, LOL. They all came in and showered and sat on the bed. Everybody was being timid, but since me and my fiance, not new to group sex, we started having sex in front of my boo, the girl that I'm dating, and her fiance. They picked up on the vibes and was like, oh, okay, our turn, and started having sex next to us. This is very interesting. We were having sex with our respective partners for like 30 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is cool, but let's get to the real reason why we're here. I asked my fiance if I could watch my boo give her strap, and she said yeah. So I gave her fiance head while she gave mine strap, and we just passed each other around for about a good 3 hours.
Jesus, 3 hours is out of control.
Lord have mercy. 3 hours. Okay, so she said it was the best gift I could ever receive, and I truly don't think anybody could ever top it. The next morning, we tried to act like nothing happened, but apparently we weren't quiet. My other homegirl said she heard us loud and clear, which turned her on. So she called my brother in the room, and they started having sex, and they put each other through the mattress all night until we were done. I truly can't wait to run it back.
Okay.
This is like very wild. I've never experienced such a thing like that, but it sounds like everybody enjoyed themselves from the story that was handed to us. So thank you so much for sharing that confession with us. I'm speechless.
I don't have nothing to say because I'm
3 hours.
3 hours is insane. Like
3 hours is a long time to just
ain't no way
be getting passed around.
Like in real reality, in the grand scheme of things, an hour is a lot. Like
an hour is a lot. An hour and a half is pushing it, really.
And that
at this big age.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a bit much.
That's a lot.
Y'all go ahead. Cause I can't do all that.
You say like, y'all go ahead.
Yeah, I can't do all that. I be like, no, I'm good. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
3 hours. Like I'm exhausted just thinking about like what could you possibly be doing for 3 hours that you didn't do in the first hour? You know,
running back what you did in the first hour again.
You know, like
or incorporating it with somebody else because it's multiple of them. Like,
but still, like it's just not trying to like be that person, but it's that whole. Like, have you ever been in a situation and then it just feel like, and I understand too, it could vary with the partner, but like I've been in a situation before where I didn't, you know what I'm saying, literally been getting folded like a pretzel, okay? Like put through the wall. And like after it was done, I felt like, oh my God, this has been 45 minutes of insanity. I done rolled over and looked at the clock and it's been fucking 13 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, wowzers, this is insane. How do you do it for 3 hours? Good like, I literally look at the clock and then be like, it's only been 13 minutes. And then be like, yeah, you want some more? No! Go to bed, sir. Get off of me. I can't do that. So no. I just don't know. Like, maybe it's just me. Because that right there, 3 hours, you ain't going to get 3 hours out of me, player. I'm just not.
I don't feel like at this big age, like 3 hours would be a lot.
Because even if I were under the influence, like even if I was drinking.
I was going to say that, like alcohol was involved.
I don't care. That's even proving more of my point. If I've been drinking, my ass go. I'm falling asleep.
After a while, you start feel like it's more pillow on my head. Your head get to spinning.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep. Like I'm not. Listen, after you did all that, and I had something to drink, and let me have eaten. You know what I'm saying? Unless we wake up and this is something that we doing at 8:00 in the morning. If it's any time past 7 p.m. I ain't about to be no good. I done lived a whole life, okay? Probably 5 by the time this is popping off at night.
Yeah. I get a broom and just
I
sit y'all asses.
First of all, let's please preface that when she's talking about the noise we hear above us, because let's not talk about a 3-hour sex orgy and you talking about I get a broom and just wow, you guys, she's not talking about committing essay on anybody with the broom. Let's be clear. We're going to clear that up right now. That this is not an advertisement or a bit about sexual assault in any kind of way. Please, to potential sponsors in the future, we did not mean that. So that's one of them situations we got to be like, that pause, so because it just, the context was just out of gas. Like, that is just crazy. Like, you didn't even think about that before you said it.
Okay, for real. Stop, my stomach hurt.
What? I think this is a good time to go ahead and wrap this up because I don't really know what to say, but guys, just please if you listening.
Please, if you listening,
don't take it the wrong way.
That was hilarious because I obviously wasn't thinking about that when I said it. I just immediately reacted to her neighbors. I wish y'all could hear it. It sounds like they're running a marathon or potentially playing soccer up there. I'm not sure, one of the two. But I'm just like, what is y'all grown asses doing up there? But yes, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We appreciate the support. Tasha, you got anything?
No, y'all just stick around.
Oh, you know what?
What's up?
We gotta tell them the answer to the trivia.
Oh, did we?
Last week. Tosh, tell them what kind of car you were driving when you were allegedly involved in a high-speed chase.
I also want to start with this before we even get to the real answer. You can tell who don't be listening, because folks was just guessing stuff. And I'm looking at these answers like, I ain't never had these cars before in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I
never
think,
even rode in one.
And then it's your fault because you put like, and I mean, it was the smart thing to do. Like, you just put like some random, like, you know what I'm saying, like basic cars that I think most people
would be suitable.
Yeah, like most people would have had one. Most people would have driven one, especially females. You know, come on, you know, on and on, whatever, so on and so forth.
I should have put a Benz on there.
Right. But for those of you that did participate, at the time that I may or may have not been involved in a high-speed chase, I was driving a 2006 Chevrolet Aveo. It was actually silver at the time. I may do y'all a favor.
Wood grain interior.
I may do y'all a favor and post it.
Peanut butter
picture, because I think I got a picture of myself standing in front of it when I first got it. And when I tell y'all, I used to have that thing on 2 wheels, baby. I used to be zooming in that mud. So yes,
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I was in a high speed chase in a 4-cylinder Chevy. You can't tell me nothing, all right, about driving no car.
I understand, because Lord knows I had that Honda Accord jumping.
Yes.
Okay. From here, there, everywhere, and I had it when I was in Ipsy. So I get it completely. With that being said, again, we appreciate y'all listening. This has been another episode of The Soulful Stir. Catch y'all later.
See y'all next week.